Okay.
I'm always curious to see what we have here.
This is a very, very special coin. So I was just talking about the innovation dollars that the United States government did. So they're doing this fantastic program that they're just starting. And what they're doing is they're going to honor American innovation, American entrepreneurs, American experiments, American inventions, all of these things in the American Innovation Series that you're going to have here. And they did this by doing a very unique take on these. So the United States government decides to do this set and release none of the coins into circulation. So you can't get them at the bank or the post office or anywhere else. They don't sell the coins singly. They only sell them in rolls and bags and all these other things, okay? They also did what was called an inaugural coin. They just did a coin before the set, just to show everybody what it was. And they were introducing the theme, which is these gears that you see here. That's the official theme of the American Innovation Dollar Series. So they released these coins, the Philadelphia Minted Coin, the Denver Minted Coin, and the San Francisco Minted Proof Coin, December the 14th of 2018. December the 14th of 2018. And they were released very, very late in the year. They kind of fell by the wayside and bring pretty substantial premiums in the marketplace. But they also, to make this set unique, wanted to do a special coin as well. So they decided to do not only Philadelphia, Denver, and proof, but they decided to also do reverse proof. And that's what this coin is. This is a reverse proof coin. And the interesting part about this is it's not just that they did this and they didn't put it in with the reverse proof set. It was issued as an individual coin. But they didn't release this coin until 2019. This is a 2018 coin. They released it in 2019. I've been doing this a very long time, and I don't recall them ever doing anything like that. I don't recall them ever releasing a 2000 and any coin in the next year of issue. Not only did they do that, but they decided to only make 75,000. I have no idea. This is a set that they want millions of people to collect, but they only did in reverse proof 75,000 coins. They released it at a special convention, what's called the American Numismatic Association Convention in Chicago. They released it there and only had, of the 75,000, they had about 5,000 of the coins available at the show. And that's what this coin is. As you can see, it's certified first day of release at the ANA. So what you have is the inaugural release of what is going to be a phenomenally desirable and collectible set. You've got the rarest part of that set, the reverse proof. Then you have it in its rarest format, the coins that were released at the ANA and certified on the first day. And more importantly, coins that were not only released on the first day, but are certified absolutely, positively perfect. By the time you put all of that together, you have got, I think, one of the great modern issue collectibles that the United States government has ever released. And I have got this in terms of first day of issue, first day ANA. I don't know that anybody else has this. We were able to get there, and of the 5,000 sets, we were able to get like 2,000 of the sets. We had to pay a tremendous premium for the coin. The coins only sold individually. They were not in any proof sets or anything else. We had to pay a tremendous premium. We had to pay a tremendous premium to have them graded. So now you've got a coin that it will embody the entire series. This inaugural coin, which the United States government has never done before. This reverse proof coin, which of course completely and totally sold out from the United States Mint immediately. But then you have a subset of phenomenal rarity that you're going to have, which is the ANA release, and it's a first day. So when you have an NGC first day of release, what you're looking at there is a very special opportunity. Because first day release means it basically has to be in their hands the very first day that it was released to the general public. And the only way we could do that is we literally like bought these coins, put them in like a wheelbarrow and rolled them over to NGC so we could drop them off to them because they were at this show. And so that's why this first day of release is such an interesting thing. So you have in complete and utter rarity, one of the rarest regular issue or regular release United States coins, even though it's a special finish in terms of reverse proof. ever done by the United States government. But then you have this incredible special subset of rarity that's done first day of issue and only released at this special show that we were going to do. And having that released at the special show is incredibly important to the value of this particular set and this particular coin. I don't know any place else you can get this coin. I've got like I said, we were able to get 2,000 coins, which is a huge and monstrous number of those coins. However, of those 2,000 coins, only a tiny fraction of them, of course, graded proof 70. Look at all the detail to this. Once again, another one of those incredibly difficult coins to get. If you'll notice this right here, that is George Washington's facsimile signature as it appeared on the very first patent issued by the United States of America for potash, as a matter of fact, that they did, which is a fertilizer thing. That was the very first patent ever released by the United States government, and that's one of the things that this does. This, as a matter of fact, was designed by James Earl Fraser, who designed the Buffalo nickel that hangs over the U.S. Patent Office. That is a sculpture. Cool. That's right, kind of an emblem that he did that hangs over the U.S. Patent Office as well. So you have the kickoff to this set, and you technically, there'll be lots and lots and lots of people telling you that they're selling you the complete set, but they will 100% forget to mention the 2018 coins. And I think that's a critical error. That's a fantastic error, because you have to have the inaugural coins from 2018. These ones that come out before the Delaware coins. That's what we're looking at, the 2018 coins. And of those 2018 coins, which bring huge premiums in the marketplace, the rarest of the rare, once again, is the reverse proof that you have right here, and the reverse proof from the first day and released at the ANA, the American Numismatic Association original show. They've only released a handful of coins in the history of the ANA at the show. So any ANA release coin always brings a tremendous premium in the marketplace, and I have got them right here, right now available.
Well, again, new and offer to you on the flex space, so it's $44.98. I want to quickly remind you also about our special promotion when you open up an HSN card, because you'll get $20 off. So that'll be a nice savings for you on this specific coin, but any coin or any purchase that you'd like to have. And of course, you also get that HSN card. If you'd like to order, you definitely want to be on the phone lines for this one. As we've said a lot during the show, final coin show of the year, if you can imagine. I can't believe it, but it's true. Final coin show of the year. So you definitely want to shop, not only for your collection, but to also look at gifts that you'd like to give for the holiday season. And if you're buying a gift, our return policy gives you through the end of January to get a full refund, which is really nice. Stay on the phone lines for this one. Let's show you what's coming up.
This is just a 1 minute, this is a quick little mention that we have right here.